Hello everyone, I'm teacher Money and I'm going to teach you mathematics for a few weeks. I hope you're enjoying your lesson. In this lesson, first we go through the main step to solve a word problem. We learn about problem solving strategies and we will do math exercises during the lesson. There are four main steps to solve a word problem. 1. Understand the problem. 2. Plan the solution. 3. Carry out the plan. Solve it. 4. Check your answer. So let's look at each step separately. First, understand the question. For understanding the question, you have to read it carefully once and then read it again to fully understand the question. You might say, oh, I don't want to read the question twice, I want to just read it once. But trust me, if you don't fully understand the question, and before you fully understand the question, you start your solution, you will get confused and you want to give up. So it's better just read it twice and fully understand the question. You have to look for the keywords. We will talk about keywords in next slides. You have to look for important numbers, what information the question gives you, and what information is missing. And you have to, of course, understand the question. What question problem asks you to do. So let's look at the keywords. Review the keywords. You have using this. Keywords since grade 2, I think. So just let's have a quick look on them. Increase by, more than, combine, altogether, in all, in total, sum. So these words all mean add. Subtraction keywords. So sometimes question asks you to subtract or minus without using the word subtract. So instead it use decrease by, fewer than, less than, left over, how many more, how much farther, difference. Multiplication keywords: times, each, double, triple, twice, product of, and factor. So these words all mean multiply. So when you see the question, you know you have to multiply, or if you're solving a multi-step word problem, at least you know multiplication is part of your solution. Division keywords: equal, equally, evenly, divided, shared, every, group, half, third, quarter, and average. So these word all means divide. So let's look at an example. Colin's aunt gave her $42 to spend on clothes at the mall. She bought 2 shirts that cost $3 each and a pair of pants that cost $19. How much money does Colin have left to buy more clothes? So let's read the question again to fully understand it. Colin's aunt gave her $42. So now we know she has $42. She wants to spend this $42 on clothes. So at the mall, she bought 2 shirts that cost $3. So 1 shirt is $3. 2 shirts is $6. So we know now she used $6 of her money to buy shirts. And she bought a pair of pants that cost $19, so $6 for shirts, and $90 goes for a pair of pants. How much money does Colin have left to buy more clothes? So which keyword do you see in this problem? Have left, right? A sign of subtraction. So we read it carefully already, we read it twice, we know the keywords, we have our keywords, how much money left, we know our the important numbers: $40, the money she has, $3, For one share, two shares becomes $6 and $90 for a pair of pants. And we know the question: how much money does Colin have left to buy more clothes? So we plan our solution. The money she has minus her total expenses is equal the money she has left. She bought two shirts for $6. 3 multiplied 2 equals 6. She bought a pair of pants for $19. So the money she has, $42, minus her total expenses, is equal the money she has left. So let's look at another example. Andrew is planning to buy a car. He needs at least a 90,000 baht. He got 35,000 baht loan from his bank and he lent 30,000 baht from his brother. His father borrowed Andrew 15,000 baht. How much more money does Andrew need to buy a car? So let's read the question again to fully understand it. Andrew is planning to buy a car. Okay, he needs at least 90,000 baht. So now we know Andrew wants to buy a car and he needs 90,000 baht for that car. He got 35,000 baht loan from bank. So from 90,000 baht he got 35,000 from bank so far, and then he lent 30,000 baht from his brother. So 35,000 baht from bank, 30,000 baht from his brother. Okay, his father borrowed Andrew 15,000 baht. So what question asks you to do? Which keyword do you see in this problem? How much more, right? Sign of subtraction. So we know the subtraction is a part of our solution. So 90,000 baht, the money he needs and the money he lends. So we read it twice already. We fully understand the question. We have our keywords. How much more? We know the important numbers. 90,000 baht, the money he needs. 35,000 baht loan from bank. 30,000 baht from his brother. 15,000 baht from his father. And we know the question: how much more money does Andrew need to buy a car? So I give you 2 minutes to solve this problem. Okay, let's see the solution. Okay, I plan my solution. The price of car minus the total money he has loaned will get us the more money he needs. So 90,000 baht, the price of car minus the total money he has loaned, 35,000 from bank, 30,000 from his brother, plus a 15,000 from his father. So 35,000 plus 30,000 plus 15,000 would be 80,000. 80,000 minus 90,000 is equal 10,000 baht more he needs. It's easy, right? So let's look at some more complicated question or tricky ones. Before we look at our tricky questions, let's learn about some problem solving strategy. Guess and check, Gauss method, work backwards, make a list, write a number sentence and use logical reasoning. So with this strategy, you can solve any kind of problem. It's not only for 6th grade. For you can use it for high school. This strategy doesn't matter what grade you are and what kind of problem you are solving. It's applied for any kind of problem for any grade. So for today, we look at a Gauss method. You might heard about his method before, but you might not solve a word problem by using his method. So before we look at his method and learn about his method, let's see who is Carl Gauss and how he has created his method to help us solve mathematical problems. Okay, so let's watch a short movie for about 5 minutes about his story, about his life, and how he has invented his way to solve mathematical problems. Okay.
It was April 30th, 1777. A boy was born into the world by a happy, poor family. They both believed that he would grow up to be one of the smartest mathematicians in the world.
Mommy! Too bad we can't record our baby's birthday. He's going to be a great man someday. The cleverest man in the world.
I agree. It is clear. However, if that comes reality, it came from me rather than you.
It's obvious that I'm smarter than you.
Don't you remember the time when I asked smarter than you?
Neither of them knew, though, how truly a genius the baby that they bestowed life upon them was. Gauss grew up to be a happy and healthy child. He went to the school like every other 7 years old child in the country, excepting the fact that he was a little prodigy at mathematics.
Quiet! Today I'm going to try and see how well your brains work. Once you solve the problem, you will get permission to be dismissed from the school. So the problem is, what is the sum of number 1 to 100? Now solve it.
What? How are you supposed to do that question? It's gonna take a decade. Plus, once we finish it, there is no guarantee that the answer is right. I'm just gonna sleep.
I'm done. The answer is 5,050.
Gauss, explain it. How did you do that? This should be a problem that nobody your age should be able to solve.
So I split the numbers into two groups, 1 to 50 and 51 to 100. So then I can add the numbers into 101, and so there will be 50, 101, and if I multiply 50 and 101, it comes out as 5,050.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
This day, every teachers in school were very surprised that Gauss dazzled his teachers. Thanks to Gauss, now we have a sum formula. Gauss goes to university in 1796 and demonstrates a regular polygon of 17 sides can be conducted by ruler and compass alone.
Hey, I made it. I finally made it.
What did you make?
I made a regular polygon of 17 sides.
How is that even possible? Did you only use a ruler and the compass here?
Of course.
Ain't there a reason why you outshine everybody in this class?
Later in his doctoral thesis in 1799, he proved the fundamental theorem of algebra.
I can bet that nobody here can prove this statement. Is there anybody at least willing to try?
Professor,
Yes?
I shall prove that. So this is the fundamental theorem of algebra that I proved. So please listen. If fx is a polynomial of degree n, when n is greater than 0, then f has precisely n linear factors, which means fx equals an x minus c1, x minus c2, dot dot dot, x minus cn, where c1, c2, dot dot dot, cn are complex numbers.
Gauss, your intelligence clearly excels beyond the brains of lots of the professors working in the school. Good for you, Gauss. Don't copy this, Ronald.
Gauss wrote the book Disquisitions Arithmetici, which means arithmetical investigations. Symbol is for congruous in this book. Gauss also introduced what is now known as Gaussian distribution. It was 1855 when Gauss finally drew his last brush in his deathbed with his last words.
Please study my discoveries and pass it down to the future generation. Please.
And that, my friend, was the grand story of Gauss and his life. It was April 30th.
Okay, I hope you enjoy your video. Okay. Yeah, Gauss was one of the greatest mathematicians. He was born in 77 in Germany. He was gifted in mathematics and showed a talent in the field of an early age. So let's learn about his method and how he solved this problem. So the problem he solved when he was at age 7 is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 and go on till 100. He was only 7 years old when his teacher asked him to solve this problem, which was impossible in that time. So what he did, Gauss added 1 to 100, 2 to 99, 3 to 98, each pair added to 101, 100 plus 1, 101, 99 plus 2, 101, and so on. So he made 50 number pairs from 1 to 100. He multiplied 101 by 50 to get the final answer, which is 5050. So let's use his method to solve this problem. Find the value of 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10 plus 11 plus 12 plus 13 plus 14 and plus 15. So we have a number sequence here, and what we have to do first, make our number pairs same the way Gauss did, right? So we have 1 plus 15, 2 plus 14, 3 plus 13, 4 plus 12, 5 plus 11, 6 plus 10, and 7 plus 9, which all equal 16 each pair, right? So how many pair of 16 do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 multiplied by 16 become 112. But we have 8 here, which is a single number without any pairs, right? So after we multiply 16 to 7, we just add 8 to 112. So our final answer is 120. Okay. So now let's see how can we use this method to solve a word problem. Sydney saved $15 in the first month, $30 in the second month, $45 in the third month, and so on. The amount of money she saved in the last month was 120. How much money did Sydney save in all? Okay, let's read the question again to fully understand it first. before we start our solution. Sydney saved $15 in the first month. Okay, $30 in second month. Okay, $45 in third month. Okay, and so on. The amount of money she saved in the last month was 120. So what the question asks you? How much money did Sydney save in all? In all, sign off, addition, right? Okay. So what we have to do here to solve this problem? I already told you we're going to solve, use Gauss method to solve this problem, right? So for using his method, we have to first make our number sequence, and then make our number pairs, and then use his method to find the answer. So how can we make a number sequence here? Let's look at the information we have. $15 in the first month, so she saved $15 in the first time, okay? And the second month she saved $30, okay? So 15 become 30. And then third month she saved $45, okay? 15 become 30, 30 become 45. And this continued till last month that she was last month she saved $120. So start with 15 and finish with 120. So we know the first number of our number sequence is $15, and the last number or for in our number sequence is $120. So we have to start from 15 to 120. And what is the relationship between this number? 15 difference, right? 15 plus 15, 30. 30 plus 15, 45, and so on. So I made the number sequence for this problem. Start from 15, end by 120. 15 plus 30 plus 45 plus 60 plus 75 plus 90 plus 105 and plus 120. So how many number we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So she saved the money for 8 months. Start from $15 at first month and end with $120 at 8th month, right? So now we make our number pairs here. 15 plus 120, 30 plus 105, 45 plus 90, and 60 plus 75. Each pair added to 135, right? How many 135? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 135 multiply 4 equal $440 Sydney saved in all. Okay, so look at another question. Okay. I hope you're enjoying your lesson, right? I hope so. There are 12 rows of seats in a cinema. There are 10 seats in the first row, 12 seats in the second row, 14 seats in the third row, and so on. How many seats are there in the cinema altogether? So let's read the question again to fully understand it. So what we have here? We have 12 rows of seats in a cinema, okay? There are 10 seats in first row. So now we know our number sequence has to start with 10, right? 12 in second row, 10, 12, 14 in third row, okay? And so on. So what question asks you to do? How many seats are there in the cinema altogether? Here question mark has missed, sorry for that. So altogether is which keyword is it? Addition, right? Addition keyword. Okay, so now we have to make our number sequence first and then solve the problem. Okay, I'll give you a clue first for this question, and I want you to solve it using a Gauss method to solve it. So how did I know that how did I make my number sequence? I start with 10, right? And because the question tells us there are 12 rows, right? 12 rows, and I knew that my number sequence has to be included of 12 numbers, right? And I start with 10 seed in first row, and then I found the relationship between the numbers, which is difference by 2, right? 10 plus 2 plus 4 plus 16 add up to, right? Added by 2, right? 10, 12, 14, 16. And I knew I have to continue add 2 to my numbers till I get 12 numbers in my number sequence, right? So now I give you 2 minutes, use Gauss method to solve, to add all these numbers together. 2 minutes. All right, so let's see the answer. So we had our number sequence here, so we have to make our number pairs, which is 32 plus 10, 32, our last number in our number sequence, plus 10, our first number in number sequence. So what's the answer? Is 42. So how many number pair would we have here? 32 plus 10, 30 plus 12, 28 plus 14, 26 plus 16, 24 plus 18, 22 plus 20. How many number? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Once you assume that you have to use Gauss method to solve a problem, you just have to find how many pairs we have here, right? And then add a first number in your sequence to the last number, and in this case it's 42, right? So how many 42 you get? 6. So you don't need to write all your number pairs. You can just do it mentally, right? Just all right, so let's see the answer. So we had our number sequence here, so we have to make our number pairs, which is 30. Assume how many terms you have in your number sequence. You don't need to make all the pairs, right? You just have to divide it by 2. For example, here we have 12 number in our number sequence, so we have to just divide 12 by 2, so the answer is 6 pairs, right? So we only have to add first number in our number sequence to the last number and multiply to half of as many the numbers we have. Here is 12, so 12 divided by 2, 6. So first number plus last number become 42 multiply 6, we get the answer. Okay, let's look at another question. Danny read 20 pages of a storybook on the first day. On the second day, the number of pages read increased by 5. The number of pages read on third day was 10 more than that of the first day. The number of pages read on the fourth day was 5 more than of the third day, and so on. If we read the remaining 80 pages of the storybooks on the last day, how many pages were there in the storybook? So let's read the question again to fully understand it. So Danny read 20 pages of a storybook on the first day. Okay, on the second day, the number of pages you read increased by 5. So 20 page first day increased by a sign of addition, right? So you have to plus 5 to 20. Next number would be 25. The number pages you read on the third day was 10 more, again addition. So 20 first day, 25 second day, and third day 10 more than 20, so 30 for third day. And the number of pages you read on fourth day was 5 more than third day. Okay, or third day was 30, right? Plus 5, 35. So we have 20, 25, 30 and 35. And what question? And so on. If you read the remaining 80 pages of the storybook on the last day, how many pages were there in the storybook? So what the question asks us, how many pages were there in the storybook? So he starts with 20 pages, right? So you have to make a number sequence, and we know our number sequence started by 20, should be start with 20 and has to end by 80, right? So you start from 20, and so now what is the relationship between this number? Increase by 5, right? So 2, 25 and go on till 80. Okay, so think about it before I show you your solution, and try to write down your solution. Use Gauss method to solve this problem. 2 minutes and come back to you. Okay, let's see the answer. So we have to make our number sequence first, right? we have to find the value of this number sequence, right? Start with 20, increase by 5, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, till end up with 80. Now we make our number pairs. 80 plus 20 is 100, right? 75, 25, 70, 30, 65, 30, 60, 40, 55, 40. 5, right? And we have a single number here which is 50. We keep it here. After we did our multiplication, we add the 50, right? So 100, how many pairs we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 100 multiplied 6 equals 600. 50 plus 600 equals 650 pages in the storybook. So let's see another example. I hope not give up yet. There are 16 rows of seats in a school hall. There are 75 seats in the last row. If there is an increase of 3 seats starting from the first row, how many seats are there in the first row? How many seats are there in the school hall? So let's read the question again to fully understand it. There are 16 rows of seats in the school hall. Okay. There are 75 seats in the last row. Okay. If there is an increase of 3 seats, okay, starting from the first row, how many seats are there in the first row? Okay. So the question is for A, how many seats are there in the first row? What information we have? We know we have 60 rows in this 60 rows of seats in the school, and we know the last row is 75, right? And we know there is an increase of three seats starting from the first row. Okay. So unlike the other question, this one didn't give us the first row, right? It gave us the last row, okay? And we have the relationship between number is 3, right? Increased by 3. And we know how many numbers should be in our number sequence, right? So what we have to do here, we have to go backward, right? From 75, we have to decrease by 3, go back to the first row. And we know we need to have 16 numbers. 75, you just go back minus 3 to reach your 16 numbers, right? Okay. So I give you 2 minutes, okay? Just try. Okay, let's check our answer. So we have a clue here. Form a number sequence of 16 terms, right? Start with the largest number and decrease by 3 each, right? So we start from 75 and we decrease by 3 each time. 75, 72, 69, 66, 63, 60, 57, 54, 51, 50, 48, 45, 42, 39, 36, 33, and 30. 30 is the number of seats in the first row, right? We have 16 number here, right? there are 30 seats in the first row. So we go to next section. How many seats are there in the school? So now we have to use, we make our number pairs and to solve this problem. So now you don't need to write all of them, right? All the pairs, right? You just have to add, because now we have 16 rows, so 16 divided by 2 is equal 8, right? So we have 8 pairs in our number sequence, right? So 8 pairs, you just add the first number to the last number. 75 plus 30 equal 105. So 105 multiply 8 pairs equal 840. So there are 840 seats in the school hall. I hope that you still staying with me. We're just doing our last question and then we will finish for today. There were 7 books in a series of mainstream novel. Each book was written and published every 2 years. The 5th book in the series was written and published in 2003. In which years were the remaining books written and published? Okay, let's read it again to fully understand it. So there were 7 books in a series of mystery novels, right? Each book was written and published every 2 years. So we have 7 books which was written and published every 2 years. Okay, the 5th book in this series was written and published in 2003. So what question asks us? In which years were the remaining books written and published? So this question, unlike previous ones, doesn't have any first term or last term of our number sequence, right? But there's a number in the middle. 2003, the 5th book, right? So we know what we know here. We know we have 7 number because we have 7 books, right? In our so we know we have 7 terms in our number sequence. What would be the relationship between the numbers? Published every 2 years, so increase by 2 years, right? The 5th book in this series was written and published in 2003. So the 5th, we know, we only know the 5th terms of our number sequence, right? So we we wrote 2003, right, as the 5th number in our series, in our sequence. So 2003, what is the relationship? 2 years. So 2003, the 5th one, 2005, the 6th one, 2007, the 7th one, right? And we have 7 books. So now from 2003 we go back. The 5th one, 2003, go back. 2001, go back. Okay, I'll show you here better. 2003, go back by 2. Okay, 2003, go back. 2001, 1999, 1997.